up for a minute? We gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas tonight.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Hey everybody, welcome back subscribers. And to those new people stopping by, hey, welcome to you guys too. If you're kind of wondering what I'm doing here on this simulator, go ahead and check out the intro that I did not long ago. I think it's intro to Trip 3. And it'll kind of give you a breakdown of this very basic strategy that I use for bubble craps. It can be incorporated easily into a felt top table, but again, this strategy is pretty much made up for those individuals without that much experience on the bubble craps and want to be able to play it and make some money at the same time. So once again, we're at Trip 3. So if you look back in my records, I really didn't start off with the Trip 1. I really came up with the idea of doing all this whole trip concept a while back when I was doing Trip 2. But in the very beginning, they were what I was considering races. You know, race to 1,000, race to 2,000, race to 3,000. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and expand on this, make it fun, and make them look like we're all going on a trip together, and you're looking over my shoulder and as I play the game. Anyway, if you look back on that one video that is called Breakdown or Important Information, I'm going to go ahead and put a link right up there. And what this basically is going to give you a breakdown of that first trip. And in the end, after all of my expenses were paid, and I think I put my expenses at, I can't remember, I think it was $600. Yeah, we'll call it $600 for 3 days. After that was taken care of, I ended up in the very end with a $1,200 profit. On Trip 2, I ended with day 3, roughly hour 6 before I took off and went to Las Vegas. And after all of my expenses were paid, which is my objective every time, is to start off making enough money to secure, number one, my bankroll. Number two, I want to secure my expenses like airfare, hotel, and things like that. Once that's achieved, I now have that money in the bank for my next trip to Las Vegas. It's paid for. Because the first one I look at as a business expense to absorb that cost, and then it just trickles down from there. Now, the same thing is going to hold true for this little Trip 3, is I first want to secure my original bankroll. And then on top of that, pay for all my expenses, and once again, anything above that is going to be a profit. So right now I'm sitting at roughly $2,700 in profit after all of my expenses are paid. And let's do a breakdown of what it's going to cost roughly to do a trip as far as the expenses go really quick. I'm starting off right now with $550 of the trip bankroll, which once again holds over from my previous win of the previous trip. So essentially, I'm sitting down now with house money. My trip from the last time was paid. I secured that bankroll to go ahead and to do it once again. So here we are. Therefore, everything in this segment above, once again, my expenses, because I want to build that up so I can go on another trip again. I put it at $550 trip sessions bankroll, which kind of breaks down in the situation roughly about, I think it's $180 roughly. I know I said 150, but that was using a different denomination of actually $15 on each spot. But I figured we would just stick with the 20 in this case, which would come out to $180 per session or $550 per trip. And in that breakdown, it's going to give you an explanation. In a nutshell, I always bring 3 sessions of bankroll and kind of do things like that. So anyway, having said that, I'm not quite sure if I covered everything. I'm pretty confident I did. So with that in mind, hey, let's get started. I'm now up $2,700. I am on my 3rd trip that's paid for. My session bankroll is already here. So let's do the same thing again, and that's work up, first of all, trying to secure enough money to pay for the next trip, and then anything above that is going to be profit. All right? So I've kind of moved on a little bit, and from here on out, I'm going to play a little casino music, and I might perhaps in the future and in this video as well speed up the video to kind of make it look a little bit quicker and to possibly shorten up the video to within that 10-minute segment of video time. But once again, I think I'm going to aim for my goal each session of being roughly between $50 and $60 is going to be my cutoff point. So anyway, that in mind, just go ahead and look over my shoulder as we head to the casino. Let's go have some fun. Oh, before I move on, I'm going to go ahead and put a link right up there, bam, to show you guys how to recover from a top tier loss. It doesn't happen that frequently at all, and it was kind of hard to catch one that I could actually record and make into a video. So there's a link up there. Check it out. It'll give you an idea of how to recover at that top tier loss, to use that second part of that bankroll that you have within that session. All right? Once again, let's go to the casino, guys. Okay, guys, there you have it. I made it within the 10-minute period, which is really cool. I'm up $64 on this first 15 minutes of my first hour of my first day of my trip. And that'll give you a quick little demonstration of how it's done and how it will be done from here on out. But there you have it. Anyway, with that in mind, if you're interested to see the first Eureka moment that I had. Now again, this is pretty much derived from my 4 and 2 method, which again was 4 rolls or 2 wins. Later woke up in the morning and thought, why don't I just do it this way? And that's what I call my Eureka moment, which is what I pretty much named this strategy after. And I'll put a link right up there and you guys can check it out. Anyway, I hope you guys stick around. If you haven't done so, consider liking and subscribing to follow along with this. It'll give you a pretty good idea of a very simple strategy that isn't that difficult at all. Anybody can play, and with very little stress and not too much thinking, you too can be a success. With that in mind, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later. And I'll leave you with a little bit of Thai, and that is Chok Di Kap, which means best of luck to you. You guys take it easy.